Hello and welcome. I'm a hotel AI expert, and it's my pleasure to welcome all of you from Europe Hotel School to your online learning journey. In the hotel world, big ideas are absolutely everywhere, right? We're talking luxury spas, tech-forward rooms, maybe even global expansion. But how do you actually turn those ambitious visions into a reality? Well, that's exactly what we're breaking down today. That crucial link between your grand strategy and the hard numbers that make it all happen.
Let's start with this core principle right from Europe Hotel School London. Strategy without financial alignment remains aspirational rather than actionable. Think about that for a second. It's such a powerful idea. It basically means that without a rock-solid financial plan, your most brilliant strategies are really just wishful thinking. This right here is probably the single biggest hurdle between a great idea and a truly successful hotel.
So, how do we make this practical? We're going to follow this 5-step blueprint today. We'll kick off with that core principle, then lay the foundation with vision and positioning, build up the pillars of growth, and finally see how leadership dialogue really brings it all together. By the end of this, you're going to have a clear framework you can use in your own career. Okay, first up, let's really dig into this core principle. I want you to start thinking of budgets and forecasts not as some boring accounting chore, but as powerful, strategic tools. They really achieve their highest value only when they're directly tied to your hotel's long-term goals. This is the moment finance stops being just a back-office function and becomes a true strategic partner at the table. Now, this whole integration thing has a name: strategic alignment. It sounds a bit corporate, but all it really means is that every single financial decision, from the smallest line item in a department budget to the biggest multi-million-dollar investment, should be a conscious step toward your long-term vision. It's about making sure the work you do today is intentionally building the future you want for your property tomorrow. So, where does all this alignment actually begin? Well, it's not with a spreadsheet, not at all. It begins with a clear, incredibly well-defined strategic vision. Before you can crunch a single number, you have to know who you are, who you're serving, and exactly how you plan to win in your market. This is the absolute non-negotiable starting point. This slide just illustrates the point perfectly: how your vision directly shapes your financials. Just look at the difference. A hotel that's all about luxury differentiation is going to have a budget that looks completely different from one that's chasing operational efficiency. One is pouring money into high-touch guest experiences and gorgeous renovations, while the other is investing heavily in cost-saving technology. See? Your financial plan is never one size fits all. It's a mirror reflecting your strategy. Okay, so once that foundation is set and solid, you can start to build on it. Let's move on to the 3 critical areas where long-term financial forecasting directly supports that strategic vision. I want you to think of these as the structural pillars that are going to hold up all your growth ambitions. These 3 pillars, we're talking capital, growth, and talent. This is where your vision starts to get really real. And multi-year forecasts are absolutely essential here. They're what help you figure out if you can actually afford that big renovation, or determine the right time to enter a new market, or calculate the true return on investing in your leadership team. Without that long-term view, you're not making strategic investments, you're just gambling. And that brings us to such a critical point. Your planning horizon has to go way, way beyond the next 12 months. Big strategic moves, like repositioning your brand or a major tech overhaul, they don't pay off in a single year. A simple 12-month budget, that's kind of like driving at night with only your parking lights on. It just doesn't give you the visibility you need to see the road ahead. All right, we have our foundation, we have our pillars. But what holds this entire structure together? What's going to prevent it all from collapsing under pressure? It's the keystone, that effective, ongoing communication and dialogue between your strategy and finance teams. What's so interesting here is the contrast between the old way and the new way. In the old, siloed model, you've got the finance department dictating terms without really knowing the game plan. But in a modern, integrated approach, it's a constant conversation. It's a two-way street. Strategy informs the numbers and, just as importantly, the financial realities on the ground help shape the strategy. This shared ownership, it doesn't just get more people on board, it leads to fundamentally smarter decisions. Okay, let's bring it all home. We've covered all the key pieces of strategic financial planning. Now, let's assemble them into a simple, clear blueprint that you can take with you as you step into your own leadership roles. And here it is. It's pretty straightforward, right? Your path to success always starts with that clear vision. From that foundation, you build up with your strategic pillars: capital, growth, and talent.
and you lock it all in place with the keystone of open dialogue. This is how you achieve true strategic alignment. And more importantly, this is exactly how you turn those aspirational goals into real actionable plans.
And that leads us to our final thought for today. This isn't just theory from a textbook. It's a practical mindset for leadership. So as you embark on your amazing careers, I want to leave you with this question to really think about. How will you, as a future leader, ensure that every single decision and every daily action your team takes is a deliberate brick being laid in the foundation of your hotel's long-term vision?